Howdy folks, Dave Yalk here. Today I'm going to show you a combination of what I call spook in place and desensitization. Um, be very careful trying this on your own. It takes a lot of sensitivity and observation skills. You can have the opposite effect of what you intend if this is done without sensitivity, close and careful observation, and making sure that your behavior is linked to the horses, in that what you do is dependent on how the horse feels and how they're responding. Um, but what I want to show you here is this is Monet. She's been with me for 3 weeks, 3.5 weeks. When she first came here, I found her to be an insecure but tending toward the dominant end of a spectrum of personalities, and the insecurity and the dominance caused her to be inside herself. You could almost call it introverted. She really didn't have any use for the people around her, in that they didn't help her in any way. She didn't really have a relationship per se with them. Everything she did was based on what she felt she had to do for herself in that moment, mostly having to do with taking care of yourself and protecting yourself and defending yourself. And that's partly because of her insecurity. So what I've been doing over 3.5 weeks, as well as writing her, is try to teach her to come out of herself, reach for me, be with me emotionally and mentally, lean on me, use me. And then I've been turning that around to help her not just rely on the human for her security, but to find it within herself, so she didn't have to feel so insecure. So she has been very careful of her feet, didn't like to cross certain water obstacles. And she's not spooky per se, but she snorts at everything. That's vocalizing, and it's a warning to the things she's worried about, but also to her humans around her. She's been vocalizing a lot more and more, specifically aimed at me, to let me know how she feels about something, so I can turn to her and say, I don't care about that though, so ignore it. So, and what I'm going to be doing here, there's both science and experience behind this. I've done this with thousands of horses, and I've got a couple degrees in psychology and behavioral science. They're based on principles you could call flooding or saturation. Any environment that requires people to respond in a calm, relaxed manner and retain control of their emotions, and what I'll call emotional auto-regulation, conducts this as part of their training, especially the military. Now, not so much in today's era, because some of the things you can do in flooding and saturation could be considered unethical to human beings, because you deliberately make them feel bad. And that's not cool, to deliberately make people feel bad, unless you want to teach them how to control their emotions, that they don't have to feel bad just because stuff's falling apart around them. So one part of what I'm trying to do here is, you'll see me, I call it yo-yoing emotions. Take the emotions up, make them feel bad, but then give them a chance to process, almost debrief, and let their emotions come down. They learn and they think when the emotions are down, not when they're up. But I try and teach the difference between how you feel up here and how you feel down there, to offer them the choice, which takes some time, but offer the choice. Do you want to feel good like this or shitty like this? Your choice. And after about 3 weeks of work, they do realize they have a choice. She understands she has a choice. She does a lot of putting her head down herself, especially coming to obstacles on trails and stuff. So she is accepting this. This is a lesson I hadn't taught her yet, because I didn't think she was ready for it. And you can hear her snorting in the background. She is communicating, and she's a little concerned about what's going on here, even though nothing's going on here. But she's letting me know how she feels, which is a beautiful thing. So again, you're going to see me, I'm not deliberately trying to torture her. What I'm trying to do is produce an airline pilot. I like to use that example. If your right engine is on fire and you're at 35,000 feet flying across the Atlantic Ocean, you don't want your pilot running down the aisle screaming, the engine's on fire, we're all going to die. You want them in the cockpit taking care of business, maybe putting the fire out, getting on the radios, maydaying, transmitting position, get the crew and passengers ready for perhaps a water landing. There's a lot of things that can be done to improve the situation rather than getting emotional and panicking. Now, how do you produce that in a person? It's not always natural. It's rarely natural. Lots of training, experience of in simulation, taking them to places they might not ever go in real life, but taking them there to teach them how to deal with it and how to stay calm and responsive. You can't think when you're highly emotional. You can't solve problems when you're highly emotional. So I need horses to solve problems with me. So that's what you're going to see. If you ever have any questions, you're welcome to contact me via email or even call me. All my contact information can be found on my website, davidyauk.com, or on my Facebook page, or probably even on my YouTube channel that you're watching this on. You're welcome to email, text, call. I don't care. I'm happy to answer questions. I'm here about trying to improve the world. Let's get going. So first thing you're going to see is I'm going to throw, I call this lesson, well, it's going to start out with death by pool noodles. It's going to end up as death by big ball. I'm going to throw big balls in there right now, and you'll see what she does about that. And you can see right now she's relatively calm and relaxed as she's standing there, not running around in circles or anything. That's always a good thing. Now she's going to have a double problem. So you can see what that does to her emotions. Now my presence should help her out. If it doesn't, I haven't done enough good work with her. You're okay. Good girl. I hear. There you go, lick and chew. She's already started to let go of some of her anxiety. Come on down here. I hear that. Come on down here. Excuse you. I don't care. There we go. There you go. See? Doesn't that feel better? That's a good girl. Yes. Good. Well, she's already licked and chewed once. Normally I'd want to do this until she licks and chews. But there's kind of a constant state of affairs here with these balls, so I'm not sure she's going to absolutely let go of all of her anxiety. There's a lick and chew. But the problem is when you're continually exposed and you've got no break, like these balls are a constant stimulation right now, even though they're not moving. But as fast as you let go of your anxiety, the anxiety comes back. So if I really want her anxiety to go away, I'd remove the big balls. But we're not done with the lesson yet. And I could conduct the pool noodle portion of this without the balls in here, but I'm deliberately, she's an Arab, she's brilliant when she uses her brain, which is when she's not feeling strongly. So I'm providing her with a multi-thread environment because I know she can do this. Okay, that is our first example of spook in place. What I'm trying to do is overwrite her flee instinct with kick the brain in. Why are you scared? What are you doing? From now on, when you are afraid of anything, I want you to, step 1, stop your feet. Step 2, turn and face the thing you're afraid of. Step 3, turn to your human and ask them should you be concerned or not. And then step 4, relax yourself. Grab a hold of yourself. let the fear dissipate, right? Breathe it out. Let it just go right out of your exhales. Okay, so she stopped. It was perfect. Now, what I was doing with her was inviting her to stop. Every time she turned, I stopped waving the noodles. And the point being there is if you will stop, the noodles will stop. The other thing I was doing was with my body position and my energy, the entire time I was looking at her in the eyes, which is my request for their attention and thinking. I was not looking at her rump, which would be, I need you to keep running. I wanted her to stop, turn, and face every moment she was moving. But every time she did stop to turn, I would stop. And I was also using my body to cut her off slightly to give her an idea of turning. I don't want a horse running around in circles forever, being afraid, doing nothing, no learning. So I will turn them deliberately. So when they're turning, I can stop waving the noodles to teach them, hey, look for a better deal. The better deal is the pool noodles not moving. So I'm hoping my Bluetooth is in range and that you can hear what I'm saying. Otherwise, my talking is a waste of energy. So here I'm looking at her head. As soon as she stopped, turn, and face, and you can see she's got high emotion, but she's grabbing a hold of herself physically. I want horses to control themselves, self-control in 3 aspects. Mental aspect, focus on me. Ask yourself, what does Dave want? When you're done asking the question and I answer it, ask it again. What does Dave want now? Okay, that's self-control in the mental aspect. Emotional aspect, match my energy. If I'm afraid, be afraid. If I'm calm and relaxed, be calm and relaxed. If I bring my energy up in a positive way, I want to win this thing. Give me everything you got. Okay? That's emotional auto-regulation. And then the last one is physical self-control. When you're with me, those aren't your feet anymore. Decision maker, doer. I'm going to tell you how to move your feet. I'm going to ask you how to move your feet, but it's not a suggestion. Those are my feet. And that's physical self-control. If I don't tell you to move, don't move. Good girl. As I said, we've spent 3.5 weeks talking about those things, both on the ground and under saddle. And our first 3 sessions are on my YouTube channel, labeled Monet Session 1, 2, and 3. There's 5 or 6 parts to some of those. I videotaped every bit, and that beginning is the foundation for everything I've taught since. Good girl. Okay, so this is when she learns, when we're not doing anything. Believe it or not, she is processing. Okay. Notice she barely looked at the ball as she went by at that time. Hey! Here I cut her off so she could turn and I could stop waving the noodles to give her a suggestion. It worked. I'm taking her pressure off so she can learn from what just happened. Good. 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 You're okay. Head down. Yes, that's a good. Now also bring the nose down. Hey, not a suggestion. Don't care what's going on out there. Good. 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 Licking and chewing. FYI, I don't give her treats. It might appear she's reaching for my hand, but it's not because there's ever been a treat in it. It's the comfort she finds from being with me, because I offer peace when she's with me. Good. And I will pass along that I learned that. not there. Don't care about those hooks. You're okay. Good. 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 Let go. Let go. Grab all. And then let go. Good. Good. Okay. Ah, 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 ah. Ah, ah. Hey, I'm not even waving them, dude. Thank you. Thank you. Let's go walk it off. Come on. Coach, you can sprain my ankle. Walk it off. Coach, there's no end in my ankle. Shut up, son. Oh, look at you. Yeah. You can try finding that on your own a little bit. Oh, that's a lot. That's a lot of licking. Okay, so she's telling me you're coming on a little too strong for my feelings. She's also telling me right now I need a little more time in between repetitions. I was kind of pushing things too close together. She needs this processing time. Even though she's brilliant, she can become physically paralyzed